I knew it was you. I knew it was you.
Well, it looks like you guys are all familiar with this particular truck and the owner. All you motherfuckers that have these lower trucks have this guy to thank for it. Pat's truck really revolutionized the whole mini truck scene. Not just the mini truck scene, but the magazine publishing industry. I don't even think Pat knows this, or a lot of you guys might not know this, but back then there was a pecking order, and that pecking order was Truckin' Magazine first, Mini Truckin' Magazine second. And so if you had a really bitchin' truck, a lot of people wanted it on the cover of Truckin' Magazine. But over time, the sport evolved, and we had these crazy vehicles show up, the very first being Pat's. And it completely changed everything. It actually created a battle amongst Brian McCormick and myself over where Pat's truck was going to end up. And then, thank goodness, after Pat's truck was on the cover, everybody changed their attitude, and they wanted their truck on the cover of Mini Truckin' Magazine if they had a Mini. And as the editor, that made me tickled. And as my staff, Courtney included, we knew we were onto something. Now that truck and the movement, it goes back even further than when it made it on the cover. I heard about Pat's truck first when he was in Simply Choice, and I don't know if those guys were much into going to shows as much as they were into just messing shit up and going down freeways and just laying them out and just shooting road dogs on whatever. They'd piss off every club that was out there. They didn't care. And I mean, it was the beginning of an outlaw movement that I see today in all of everyone's trucks and vehicles that I see being built. It really did change the direction of the sport that we all know today, and I'm truly honored to present this award and this induction into the Hall of Fame to my good friend Pat Nicholls and his '89 Toyota Santa Cab Raspberry Porsche, Chrome R9s, air shock rear suspension, hydraulic front suspension. It had it all. But the other thing, that Ruben brought up earlier that also makes me think a lot about Pat's truck is, whether you lived in California or wherever you lived, back then the magazine was only published every other month, and we didn't have social media like Ruben said. So the magazine, everybody waited for that, and we'd all read it from cover to cover, myself included. And it really changed a lot. And with Pat's truck on the cover, the popularity of the magazine grew. We became monthly, and it stayed strong for years and years, and the movement, apparently, is still here. So, Pat, come on up and give your ring.
Well, I have a few people to thank. First and foremost, Bob for making this happen tonight. It's huge. And I had no idea that anybody even cared about that truck until social media came out. I had no idea. And then they're like, hey, check out this coalition of mini trucks or Mini Trucking Society and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, holy shit, people thought this truck was cool. I had no idea, because I showed it for years with all my friends. We showed, we drove up and down California showing our trucks. And there's a few people that made it happen. When you're living at home with your parents, struggling, I need somebody to drive me to work every day. Well, my truck was in pieces. Brian Busby, right there, he was my man. He made sure I got to work, pay the bills, to put this truck together, and I appreciate that, brother. And once it was done and going to the shows, I met a lot of great friends. And there's nothing like the people you meet in mini trucking. These are truly my friends. Brotherhood. Well, if you didn't know, that truck was black in the beginning. And I contacted my good friend and I said, hey, I'm doing big things with this truck in the garage right now, and what do you think? Is black going to make it on the cover? The hell no. Black ain't going to sell an issue. We don't even put you in color black. And I said, well, shit, I better go a different direction. And that's where the raspberry Porsche color came and evolved to, and the bright colors was trying to get it on the cover, because unfortunately there was a myth that if your truck was dragging the ground, it couldn't be a show truck and it couldn't be on the cover. We had to prove these people wrong. Now everybody's body drop dragging on the ground, whether you're a hot rod, a truck, even choppers are on the ground nowadays, right? So I gotta thank Mike for that. I gotta thank Sean for letting me use the shop several times when building it. Oh God, you have no idea. And I really want to thank, everybody for being here tonight, because you guys have done a lot for me. Todd, I didn't even know my stuff was popular until he came to do West Coast Influence. If you haven't got the video, get the video. It shows a lot about what's going on.
How it started.
And so it was amazing just to hear him talking, his enthusiasm towards mini trucking. I'm like, I'm reborn again. I'm back. So don't be scared if I build something again, you guys, because I might come back.